guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany if you are new here, and we're back to check out some more Judge Judy, because why not? We just love her going in on people. So this is going to be times Judge Judy got furious on camera. Doesn't Judge Judy get furious like a lot on camera? Or maybe it doesn't count as furious. Let's get into it.
Are not unusual. They come from people who have not clearly been watching my program for the last 22 years.
In the case of Jesse Williams and Michelle Emmerich, Judge Judy flies off the edge at the selfishness of the defendant. The plaintiff is suing Michelle to sign a quitclaim deed, so he gets full ownership of his house and for $5,000 compensation for a false protective order against him, while Michelle is countersuing for $5,000 for the return of the property to him.
You purchased a house?
Yes.
And the house was purchased with all of your money.
Correct.
You added Miss Emmerich's name to the deed, according
Yes,
to you.
ma'am.
Miss Emmerich did not put in any money into the house.
No, ma'am.
So you gave her $30,000 and you put it in her
Girl,
account.
stop
that
shaking
she
your
went out
head.
and she bought all kinds of stuff for the house.
The defendant is the plaintiff's ex-girlfriend. They lived together for 9 years and split up because their relationship wasn't working. Jesse bought a house from money gotten from a settlement for injuries sustained while at work. He purchased it while he was still in the relationship with no financial input from his ex-girlfriend, but puts her name on the deed, probably a sign of goodwill.
You filed for an order of protection
Shouldn't
and
have
he was
done that.
ultimately put out of the house and was out of the house for a while. He filed an order of protection against you.
Judge Judy confronts Michelle on her motive for filing an order of protection against Jesse. She believes it was for Michelle to get the house all to herself and kick Jesse out of his house.
Just a second. Did you file an order of protection against him?
After the fact, he threatened when I caught my daughter in the bedroom behind the door with laundry in the washer that was downstairs where his room is.
Michelle claims
Girl,
Jesse
what?
was the first to file an order of protection against her, but it didn't go through. She says she only filed one after he threatened to lynch her when she caught him in bed with her daughter.
Whose house is this?
It's both of ours.
Well, unfortunately, you are correct because you were foolish enough to add Miss Emmerich's name to the deed.
I was supporting him for many years. He got that settlement after falling after 3 days on a job, okay, ma'am?
Michelle claims they both own the house because she supported Jesse for many years before he got the settlement.
Mine
Yeah,
and my
before.
daughter behind the closed door.
Get out. Get out of my courtroom.
Fine.
Now, your counterclaim is dismissed. Get out.
Michelle continues to bicker with Jesse, even though Judge Judy asked her to keep quiet. And this finally gets on Judge Judy's nerves, which results in her throwing Michelle out of her court and dismissing her countersuit.
I can't help you, sir. Next time, pay attention. Until you marry somebody, until you're ready to make that commitment, don't put their name on a deed. She's not going to sign a quitclaim deed. I cannot force her to sign a quitclaim
I
deed.
understand.
At the end of the
Unfortunate.
case, Judge Judy tells Jesse she cannot help him with the quitclaim, as she cannot force Michelle to sign it. But she can dismiss Michelle's claims, which she has.
Miss Cozy, you didn't do what you were supposed to do because you allowed a romantic relationship to use your credit when you were dating to buy a car and, according to you, a television set.
In the case of Ann Koza, the plaintiff, and Matthew Burns, the defendant, the plaintiff allowed the defendant to use her credit to buy a car when they were dating, and now she is in court for compensation for the money she paid for his parking tickets and other fees. Ann is also claiming payment to repair the damages to the car as she intends to sell it. She is claiming a total of $5,000 for the credit card, tickets, and car costs.
Mr. Burns took the car.
Gotta stop
He
letting these
continued
people-
to pay for a period of time on both the credit card.
When the party split up, Matthew took the car and was still paying the loan on the car for a while before he stopped.
In what month and year did you stop making payments on the credit card and the car?
March 2012. With my financial aid, I'm a full-time student. So I did live off the money that I was making, so I didn't have the ability to pay the bill.
Matthew claims he stopped making payments for the car in March of 2012 and says the reason is that he had to make a replacement in the car, which took up all his savings. And as he is a full-time student, he didn't have the means to pay further on the loan. He also didn't have the car properly registered.
The car is in your name.
It's in both of our names.
The credit is in your name.
It's 50-50.
They're going to come after the one who's working. Are you working?
I am.
Ann says the ownership and the credit on the car were split between himself and Matthew. But Judge Judy lets her know the credit is primarily her responsibility, as she is the only one working.
I'm a substitute teacher looking for a teaching job, and I nanny on the side.
And what do you do?
I'm a full-time student.
Ann is a substitute teacher looking for a teaching job and a nanny on the side.
It wasn't because you had a bad transmission. That's just because you parked where you felt like it.
The car got impounded because it wasn't registered, and Ann had to pay the fine as well as the parking tickets.
Damn.
That's not her fault. Don't
Right.
take the car.
$400 for a transmission.
Listen, but a 28-year-old man who has bills to pay, who has indebted somebody else for him, doesn't sit back and read his books all day.
Matthew tries to be smart with Judge Judy, claiming he did not know the parking tickets, and he would have paid them, but Ann paid before he could, and that was
Then pay
her
her back.
choice. Judge Judy doesn't like people being cute in her courtroom.
And I have proof that it was in collections for the last 4 months, which I was not aware of.
But again, I didn't ask her to pay it.
I don't care whether you asked her or not. What would you like her to do? You'd like
Right.
the credit score to be 0?
When Ann
Exactly.
says she wants compensation for the debt owed on the Best Buy card for the television set Matthew bought when they were together, Matthew says he will not pay because he didn't ask her to pay the debt for him. Seeing as it is Ann's credit on the line, Judge Judy disagrees.
By the time you're 28 years old, you should have figured that out. That's how Bird makes a living. That's how my cameraman makes a living.
Judge Judy tells Matthew he should be working as a 28-year-old man.
So $2,229.70 is what I had to spend to get it out.
That's all I want to know.
Ann says she paid a total of $2,229 to get the car out of impound because Matthew had 19 unpaid tickets, which he had to pay.
I did decide to pay for all this stuff is because for 2 weeks I tried to get hold of Matthew Burns and he would not return my
You
phone
don't
call.
have
Ann claims she decided to pay for all of these because Matthew had not been reachable for about 2 weeks.
He's very busy being a full-time student.
No, but
Now,
when she
full-time student without a car.
when she took the responsibilities of the car.
No. She's got parking
Deceased.
tickets. $1,600 worth of parking tickets. You didn't pay them.
Matthew once again claims that Ann made the decision to take care of the bills, and he does not owe her anything. Here's what Judge Judy tells him.
For the plaintiff in the amount of $3,500. That's all.
At the end of the day,
Yes.
Judge Judy finds the plaintiff and awards her $3,500 as compensation.
Mr. Elbert keyed your car.
Yes,
We
he
had
did.
an argument. You say that he posted some photographs of you that were compromising photographs, and he posted them on the internet.
Tamia Anderson claims her ex-boyfriend keyed her car and wants compensation for that in the case of Tamia Anderson and Chaz Elbert. She is also claiming compensation for the damage caused to her by Chaz allegedly posting compromising pictures of her on social media, as well as claiming for her PlayStation.
Just put that on her table because you say you have no basis to keep it. It is hers.
Yes, it was a Christmas gift she gave.
The PlayStation part of the case is easily solved, as Judge Judy tells Chaz to return it to Tamia, which he does.
May 5th, I was invited to go out with a coworker after work for a Cinco de Mayo celebration. But I let him know that I was going out with my coworker, and he got
A
upset.
male co-worker.
No.
It seems their issue started with the possessive nature of Chaz, who got upset with Tamia for wanting to go out with her friends, even though he was too busy to hang out with her.
So
I
he a little
ended
cray
up
cray.
so upset that I didn't even go out that night.
So he upset you and you felt guilty about going out.
No, I wasn't guilty at all. I noticed that there's 2 key scratches on the side of my car. And I'm like, who did this to my car? Own enemies, Judy. Who?
No, we're not friends.
Uh-huh.
Listen to me.
Tamia says the night they fought, she didn't let her go out because she was way too upset to go and decided to stay home. When she woke up in the morning to go to work, she noticed key scratches on her car, and no one comes to mind who would have done that except for her now
She
ex-boyfriend.
don't need
What
video
she
proof.
said to you and what you said to her.
She basically said to me,
Not basically said.
she said to me, I just want you to tell me if you key my car, we both have jobs, we can work it out. I said to Maya, I did not key your car.
When asked what happened, Chaz admits they had a conversation about the car 2 days after the incident, and he told her he didn't key her car,
Gotta have
but she
video
didn't
proof.
believe him.
How did it come about that you went to Denny's?
I actually texted her and asked her, would you like to go out to breakfast with me? I told her that I did not key the car, but I would be more than happy to help her pay for the damages because I loved her.
Great.
They did not speak for about 3 weeks, and when they did, Chaz agrees to help her pay for the repair of the damage to her car.
I don't have access to these pictures because
Well, how
on the
was-
website, they don't allow nudity.
Don't pose for it. If you don't want a picture out there in cyberspace for
Harsh.
10 million people to
Not
see,
true.
don't take the picture.
In deciding the issue of the pictures posted online, Judge Judy was rather resolute in her opinion, as she tells Tamia strictly that she should not post for pictures she did not want posted online next time, and dismissed her claim for compensation in that regard.
Mr. Hazelton, the defendant is your mother, and it is your claim that she
Your
had you
mother?
falsely arrested a little over a year ago for assaulting your sister, who tried to intervene and prevent you from taking her television.
In the case of Hazelton and Hazelton, Glenn Hazelton, the plaintiff, is suing his mother Nancy Hazelton for having him falsely arrested for assaulting his sister and stealing Nancy's television.
When you were arrested on your mother's complaint, how many times had you been arrested?
This isn't boring. I'm just tired.
How many? More than a dozen. Were they physically related? Were they assault cases?
Some. I'm just talking about this case, Your Honor. I'm only talking about this case at hand. If you don't want to discuss this case, then we can just discuss.
Alright, you guys are gonna see a strange cut in the video because the camera died. But let's get back to it. We had the mother and son going back and forth in court.
Great, then I'm dismissing you. Thank you very much.
All right.
The case is off to a rocky start when Glenn refuses to answer Judge Judy's questions and tells her she can dismiss the case if she so wishes. The case was dismissed.
Mr. Hazelton, Officer Byrd tells me that you have had second thoughts about answering the court's questions.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so then let's get back to where I was questioning you before.
Glenn seems to have had a rethink and requests for the case to be recalled.
Arrested on May 6, 2015.
Where?
In Hennepin County.
Is that where you live?
I lived, yes. I was arrested on my mother and sister's complaint. Hit my sister 3 times in the face and left with the TV.
According to him, he was arrested in his home after his mother and sister made a complaint to the police that he stole her television and assaulted his sister. He denies both allegations and claims they are lies.
At that time, Miss Hazelton, who did you live with?
My daughter lived with me. I saw her holding an ice pack on her face, and I asked her what happened. And I was only in the house maybe 5 minutes before the police were knocking on the doors.
Nancy says she wasn't home when the incident happened, and her daughter, who is now late, had already called the police before she got home.
Do know that these reports indicate that you were totally uncooperative.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Let me first say this.
I asked you a question, Mr. Hazelton.
The charges were dismissed, not by the judge, the state's attorney, because I didn't steal the TV that my mom said.
Your case is dismissed, Mr. Hazelton. You have no case against your mother. We're finished here.
The police report states that Glenn was uncooperative and had to be isolated. His recalcitrant behavior in court supports this allegation, and his continued refusal to cooperate leads to Judge Judy dismissing his case a second time in icy anger.
Nah, he definitely did. He did something. He did something. He did something. I don't know if he full out attacked his sister, but he... I believe it. Anyways, like I said, sorry for the weird cut. But moral of the story, boys and girls, don't let people use up your credit. Especially not just your boyfriend or girlfriend. Even if it's somebody you're married to. Don't let them do something crazy with your credit card, your credit score. None of that. Don't let it happen. Also, stop sending out nudes, videos, and nude pictures, y'all. Revenge porn is a thing, and people don't be caring, and they be doing it because there is some wild and crazy folk out here that do not give up, okay, if they get in trouble about it. So be careful. I mean, do what you want to do if you're an adult, but you know, if it gets out there, internet is like forever. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction video. Always love some Judge Judy shenanigans. Comment down below if you want to see more Judge Judy stuff. I also react to like paternity court stuff, and I think I'm gonna check out Judge Mathis things because he be calling everybody crackheads, and that's hilarious too. Comment down below if you're interested in that kind of stuff, and then also give this a big thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. It helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe if you are not already subscribed. Just join us over here, and also give the, what am I saying, the bell next to the subscribe button. Turn that on. It's post notifications. It'll let you know when I upload. Please check if you're subscribed though. If you keep coming back, go ahead and subscribe. Do it. You know, I can see that when a lot of people are watching the channel and they're not subscribed, but you know, we're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, guys. Peace out.